Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Starter from the Bottom here with Gateshead. And today we're going to take on Broccoli in the FA Trophy, whichever round? Second round, and Dagenham and Redbridge in the league. And I'm excited for that league game because we're currently 20 points clear. So we do have the potential to go 23 points clear, which would be great. Anyway, in terms of the team for today, Johnson has to come in for Wrightson, and York's still in for Ajawa. Other than that, nothing has changed. New signing on loan is Liam Smith, who is a midfielder and center attacking midfielder who is not quite as good as Corey Francis, so he's not going to start at all, hardly, unless Francis gets injured, obviously. Because, you know, we were putting McLaughlin there, but he can't really play there. So that's the team for today. Just make sure that's all good. Yep, okay, let's get into this FA Trophy game. Smith needs a number. He's going to get 16. Which is my number, funny enough. I hope he lives up to it. That is my number in everything that I can possibly get it in. Okay. We should be winning this game because these guys are at least a league below us. I think they're actually 22nd. Last time I checked, they were 22nd in the National League. I'm not sure where they are now. 19th now, so they've gone on a little bit of a run. I mean, I say that they're still just 3 points outside the relegation zone. Still shouldn't be that difficult. I don't care how many games they've won recently. And we appear to already be attacking here with McCourt over to York. Plays in Moore, who for some reason passed it to Smith. That was stupid. I don't know. That was bizarre. Usually you would, you know, back a striker to take that himself, but apparently he didn't back himself, so. But we are actually attacking again here, but it comes to nothing. They're playing a very defensive 4-3-3. That's about the most defensive 4-3-3 I've ever seen. Be interesting to see how we handle two strikers, though. Just ignore all the noises outside as we score. It appears to be Francis. Yes, I wasn't paying any attention, and I actually have a face pack installed as well, so you can see some of the players now. As you could see, Francis's picture was down there when he scored, and he's incredibly white. For lack of a better phrase there. I apologize if FM's running a little slow. I'm actually rendering a video in the background. But Phillips crossed it in, and Francis won a header. How tall is he? Does it say? I need to see this. This McCourt gets injured. Anyway, how tall is he? Where does it say this? Attributes? Oh, it's over here, isn't it? Where is it? He's 5'10". Same height as me. That's a little short to be winning headers. I'm not gonna lie. McCourt's twisted his knee. We'll bring on McLaughlin. He'll probably score or get an assist or something because that's just what he does. And funnily enough, I just saw a video of like the musician, if you want to call him that, Drake, falling through his own stage. Apparently there was a big hole in the middle of it. In in other news, aside from FM, that was hilarious. Anyway, it appears we're going to go into halftime 1-0 here. I would expect better. But I can't complain because we've held into 2 shots and we've had 10 of our own, so. Of course, we have only put 2 of those on target and 4 of them have been long shots, but we scored. We're ahead. The only thing that matters is what's written on that score line up there. So, I can't complain too much. Anyway, McLaughlin makes the tackle and tries to plan more, whoever that may have been. I couldn't actually catch his name, but anyway, we're still attacking here. Somehow Moore kept the ball. Francis sprays it out wide to Johnson. Johnson, is he going to go alone? Nope, passes to Smith, who plays in Moore, who really should have scored there. He should have gone near post there. Last episode, he had a chance where he should have gone far post, and then he tried to go far post there, and clearly didn't score. He does do that every once in a while, where he'll just miss a sitter, which really is really weird, since he scores everything else. We have an attacking corner here, which isn't cleared well. Francis into Johnson, whose shot is deflected, but McLaughlin hits the post or crossbar or whatever that hit. I feel like I say that a lot, where I just can't figure out what that hit. Anyway, another corner aimed for McLaughlin, who can't get to it, and nothing's probably going to happen here. Actually, McLaughlin's shot is deflected, and it almost crept in at the near post. Now Smith had that corner. That's not the guy you want with the ball at his feet. Another ball, and Johnson now scores. We had a lot of chances just then. But we did eventually finish one of them. And Francis just played it out to Smith, who put a beautiful ball in first time to Johnson, who slots it home with his left foot. And I wish that dog across the street would just shut up and just ignore that noise in the background. That was my the video finishing, so I can get that uploaded in a little under half an hour. So, yeah. Anyway, Moore's dribbling forward here. It's up to McLaughlin, to York. Back to Francis. Phillips now. Back to York. Who, it tries to cross the ball and it actually goes off the crossbar. I don't think he meant for that to happen, and I need to make some subs. Yeah, we'll bring off York, I guess. Wow, there's nobody to really put on. Is there anybody who can play left mid? McLaughlin can, but I really don't want to. There's nobody for left back either. We'll bring on Barkworth. And I think in the 80th, I might give Liam Smith his debut, just because this game's pretty much over, as long as they don't score here. Francis has the ball way back there. I don't know what he's doing back there. And they could get their head on that. Yeah, they still keep the ball. They might have a chance here. But York intercepts, but gives it right back to him because he could not control that. Just try to boot it. And we might be a little stretched here at the back. Yeah, they play through Moyo. That's a name. David Moyo, and he scores. For Broccoli, that's a little bit concerning. I mean, we don't concede very many goals, and that was only their third shot and second on target, so I'm not very concerned. We are going to bring on Liam Smith here for his debut. I'm assuming he can play there. Yeah, okay. Watch him score on his debut, then I'll have a decision to make. We just can't, well, I say we can't give the ball away. That's exactly what we do, but that's an interesting back pass. Almost hit his own post. Keeper boots it up the field. I think we won that header, but just couldn't find anybody with it. Now Moyo comes forward for them. I'm going to really regret making that sub if they score here. But York makes the tackle, and now he has it back, dribbling down the right-hand side. Plays it into McLaughlin, who should put it across to Moore, who does, and he scores to ice the game. Of course, this game shouldn't have been close to begin with, because these guys, we're separated by, how many league positions would that be? I mean, it's quite a large number, somewhere up around 40, I think. So, yeah. Anyway, we're actually attacking again here, but I think it's going to be the end of the game unless we can squeeze in one more chance in the next 30 seconds. It's probably just going to make me watch a 30-second long highlight, though. So, that's entertaining. Now we could get a chance here. Phillips could put this in if he wants to. He clearly doesn't, though. And it does look like it's going to be the game. And that is it. I feel like that whistle was early, but good win, regardless. Through to the third round, and the draw was in 2 days. So I guess I will see you for the draw. We are back here for the FA Trophy third round draw. We're getting down to just a few teams here, so we're going to actually go on the automatic draw and see what goes on. So Workington get Hemel Hempstead, Aldershot Boreham Wood against Chelmsford. Poole, I wouldn't mind Poole, against Wrexham or FC United. East Thurrock and North Ferriby against Tranmere. Macclesfield against Kidderminster. We will play Boston United. I back us against Boston United. I don't care how good they're doing in the league this year. Willing to play Fylde or Dulwich Hamlet, and Darlington 1883 will play Southport or Sutton. I back us against Boston. They're 5th in the National League North, so they're a little better than the last team we played, but, I mean, still, I mean, our league positions are separated by 29 possessions or something like that, so it's still a good amount. I mean, this would be like us playing bottom of the league. Maybe a little worse, just they're in better form, I guess. Extra time decision, yes, we will do the extra time. So I will see you in a few days for the game against Dagenham and Redbridge. We are back here for the game against Dagenham and Redbridge, who actually beat us earlier in the season, despite being very low down in the league. And I really meant to look at that and see what happens, but we're in far better form. The players know each other better, etc. So we should be able to win today. And how many points clear are we now? Still 20. I think it was, I think I checked that last time anyway. So, team for today doesn't change much other than McLaughlin has to come in for McCourt, who was tired. And I was about to put in Liam Smith, but I'm glad I didn't because he's on 80% condition. But I figured I can't just give away Paddy McLaughlin's spot as the backup because he's been amazing. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he scored 5 goals. And he has a good few assists. He's got 6 assists and 5 goals. And, where is he? In just those, well, 24 appearances, but 14 were off the bench. So, hard to compare to other players there. The team is good from there, though. And I noticed that Corey Francis actually now has potential to be a Sky Bet League 1 player in the future. So, that's impressive. He'll definitely be around next season when we get promoted. We are, of course, the favorites, considering Dagenham and Redbridge are down in 19th position. So this shouldn't be too difficult. Of course, I also said that the last time to myself when we played Dagenham and Redbridge. But, let's just forget that ever happened, alright? And am I on... I prefer... Okay, I'm on 2D Classic. It's just being a little weird. I didn't realize I could see their feet, or whatever that is, that shows up below their circles. That was interesting. I don't know if that's supposed to be a thing or not. It's been a very quiet first few minutes with only 3 shots. And we actually don't have the majority of the possession, which is interesting. And it's actually been a very quiet first half so far. Time's just kind of ticking away. But at this point, we can get draws. As much as I'd prefer wins, and they're a lot more entertaining and stuff. I mean, we can get away with drawing some games. I think we could draw every game for the rest of the season and still win the league by a decent margin. So, yeah, we can definitely still win this one. I mean, if we were to draw out, there's 46 games. So I guess we'd only get another 16 points, which... wouldn't be all that many, but I think it might still get us across the line. I mean, we still currently, because I guess Tranmere are drawing their game, we still hold a 20-point lead. I mean, that's 6 games that we would win the league by. So, anyway, we are actually coming forward here as York skips by a defender, gives it to McLaughlin, who could have played more in but didn't, decided to go alone. Which I don't blame him, really. He can score a few of those every once in a while. I mean, he could have just played through more, though. I think that would have been the easier option. And it still would have made him look good, because, I mean, it's an assist. But he decided to go for it alone. And typically, I'd back him from that distance, maybe if he hadn't dribbled with it so much. We do need some goals here, though. It's concerning that we're not really having all that many shots or shots on target, for that matter. I'm going to go ahead and yank off Aaron Phillips for James Bolton. Because Phillips was a little tired before the game. I think he was on 89% condition. I don't know why our lone players are always on such bad condition. Gonna make one other change. Yep, Mafuda can come off. We'll bring on Barkworth. And Niall Bell's almost back, actually. He's fine fitness-wise, so that's good. Because he is Montel Moore's backup. And he has a fair amount of potential as well. We're going to bring up McLaughlin for Liam Smith, playing in his second game off the bench. He's nice to have, because he's a quality player. And I just remembered, this isn't 0-0. And we're no longer 20 points clear. We're 18 points clear, which doesn't really change a whole lot. Still 6 games ahead. With a far superior goal difference, and I'm assuming this will be the game, is we could have broken away there. But it's all good. That was unfortunate. I'm just going to say unlucky because, I mean, we just don't like Dagenham and Redbridge, clearly. I don't know what the deal is. We just got an achievement for unbeatable. I don't know what that entails. I will check real quick. I don't know if you can see when I do shift tab. 10 consecutive, unbeaten in 10 consecutive matches. Which it doesn't actually say anywhere, but I'm assuming that it probably doesn't count the FA Trophy games, but as far as we haven't done that yet. I mean, technically these were competitive matches. That's not 10 though, so yeah, it's impressive nonetheless. Cannot complain. Next episode I might skip over the FA Trophy game because it's just not that many games out. I prefer to go and finish up the season. So, let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'd actually be against Boreham Wood currently when we could win the league. Imagine if it was York and Barrow, though, if we could win the league in those games. That would be fun. We'll see what happens. I'll probably come back when we have a chance to win the league. That's the plan, at least. We'll see how that works out. Knowing me, I'll probably accidentally play the game when we could win the league, and we'll win the league, and it won't be on camera. Because I'm good at this. I'm pretty sure I almost did it with Cardiff Met, but then I just decided it's too far gone. Wait, our form's actually been patchy in the last few games. Really? I mean, I say patchy. I mean, we've just drawn 3 games of the last 6 there. But, you know, that's patchy for us, I guess, since we've only drawn 6 games all season in 121. And it's actually the January transfer window. So far I haven't brought in anybody. That goalkeeper that we had on trial wasn't all that good. And I don't know why our wages are so high. I don't know what happened there. But I really have no idea how that happened. Finances still suck, I have a feeling. Yeah, they're terrifying. Hopefully if we go up, though, we'll just be making more money. More people coming to games. Because we have some awful attendance if I just look at that real quick. I can remember where it is. I feel like it's under stadiums, and can we get average attendance? No. I'm probably blind. Actually, I think it's under stats. Team detailed, maybe? Form. Average attendance, there we go. Yeah, we're down in 15th, even though we're top of the league. We only fill up 11% of our stadium. Which is kind of awful, but our stadium is huge, I guess, so that, they're huge for this level. I mean, that's interesting that, you know, like the team in Grimsby or Grimsby, I don't know what they're doing in 16th. Neil Aspin is their manager. I feel like I've heard of him. Where has he been? I love how you can just get off on these tangents in FM. Oh, we played for Halifax, but that was in 2011, so I wouldn't know. Let's see. Oh, well, he was... It was the Gateshead manager that I replaced. This is the Halifax manager. Other than that, I wouldn't know him at all. I don't know where I've heard of him. Was he? I have no idea. Anyway. I don't know how I ended up looking at that. Oh yeah, I clicked on Grimsby. Anyway. And I cut off all that from talking about the finances. Somehow we've got $5.5K per week left to spend. I guess it fluctuates a lot because we have some players on non-contracts and stuff. So I don't know. You can see where we had those games against Newcastle and stuff. Wages. What happened? I do not know. How much will we be paying if we go up? Okay, that's interesting. Don't know why I care. Okay, that's enough of me rambling. So if you have enjoyed, please do drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and leave a comment. Tell me how I'm doing. Tell me if there's anything wrong with me using OBS, like video quality, sound quality, anything like that. Please do let me know, because I'm not going to be able to figure it out on my own, especially if YouTube does something funny, because I tend to not watch my own videos on YouTube because it messes with the stats a little. And I'm still rambling on. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys alone. At this point, the video is probably getting a little bit lengthy, so I will see you next time.